Hi there, Mama. I just wanted to touch on C-sections, and yeah, mainly because there are so many women around the world now that are choosing elective C-sections, and I just really wanted to put out there, like, why? Why is this happening? Because literally in the Western world, it seems like there's an epidemic scale of C-sections going on, and we really need to get to the bottom of it because, you know, even though people think that it's very safe and maybe even safer than having a natural birth, it's 4 times more dangerous. There's 4 times more maternal death and infant death from C-section rates. It's major abdominal surgery, and it can also put you and baby at risk for subsequent pregnancies because it can cause the placenta to basically become buried in the uterus. It's called placenta previa, or the placenta can go and grow in the wrong place, which can obstruct the baby being able to get out. So it's actually very, very perilous. But I'm guessing that in answer to my question, a lot of you are considering C-sections electively because you're scared. Because you're scared of the pain, because you're worried about whether your body will actually be able to cope with it, and because you think it's genuinely safe. And you may have spoken to people who have told you that it is absolutely fine, and you know they could schedule it on a certain day and it was all dealt with in an hour and it was great, you know, and there were no downsides to it. However, I'm here to tell you to not take it that lightheartedly because of so many reasons, but the main ones being to yourself and your baby, right? So if the baby hasn't experienced labor, which is not just the contractions, but all the hormones, the cocktail of hormones that are being secreted during labor, which is like oxytocin, the beta-endorphins, the prolactin, the catecholamines, if that's how you pronounce it. All of those hormones have got extremely important roles in the way that the baby can, you know, the breathing ability of the baby later, its cognitive function. Lack of oxytocin in the baby there've been studies, and I could put links all down below, but studies related to mental health problems later for the baby, like schizophrenia, autism, depression, anxiety, stress response. So things like that, you don't want that to happen to your baby. And if the baby's exposed to all of those hormones, it also is able to regulate its body temperature much quicker. It's able to have that relationship with its mum, you know, the interdependent relationship where it can suckle the mother's breast almost immediately after birth, which then creates an oxytocin love bond between mother and child, which means that she's going to be much more likely to behave in a much more maternal, grooming manner to her baby. Did you know, for example, that monkeys that given C-sections usually, studies have shown that none of them looked after their young. They neglected them after the C-section because they weren't born naturally, because the mother and the baby hadn't been in this cocktail of hormones strengthening their bond. And even the sense of smell, the mother couldn't smell the vaginal secretions on her baby's head or on the baby's body, which is massive for all mammals to smell that, for her to want to nurture and look after her baby. So if there's not that smell there, they don't look after their babies. And they then did the test to see if it really was that, and they took some vaginal secretions from the monkeys, put it on the babies, and then they did look after them better. But they still weren't holding them half as much. They would neglect them a great deal compared to the mothers that had the babies vaginally. So what I'm trying to say is that there's an incredibly intelligent orchestra of hormones that our bodies have been secreting for millennia, you know, for 300,000 years, and it's not by accident. It's basically keeping both mothers and babies safe. Like, another reason it's really important for the baby to suckle the mother's breast and sniff around and lick and all that is because it increases the oxytocin levels in the mother, which then basically ensures that she doesn't hemorrhage after having the baby, or her rate of hemorrhage is much, much, much reduced. So it's not by accident, and I really think we need to stop playing with fire here and thinking that we're God and letting surgery overtake what Mother Nature definitely knows best how to do. So if you are thinking of an elective C-section, maybe rethink it. Maybe learn more on my course about all the different cascade of hormones and the synchronicity of them. This is obviously just a quick video to just give you like some surface level information. I get it though, I completely understand why you'd be considering an elective C-section. I myself thought I was going to do that when I was pregnant with my first 11 years ago, because I was terrified of the pain, and I just thought it sounded a lot less barbaric and all that kind of thing. But when I learnt about all these things, I was like, whoa, okay, back up. So it's better for me and it's better for the baby if we do this naturally. Okay, I'm gonna like take heed and listen to this and get my head around a natural birth, because if that's what I need to do, if that's one of the most important things I can gift my child and myself with for us to be as healthy as possible, then that's what I need to do, right? So anyway, I just urge you to consider it, and I urge you to think about why your OBGYN, if indeed they are suggesting you have an elective C-section, is suggesting that. I don't want to be too cynical or conspiracy theory-ish with you, but let's just remember that they get paid. You know, insurance companies pay $100,000 in America for a C-section, whereas a vaginal natural birth is around 20 to 30,000. 20 if there's no drugs involved, 30 if there are. So they have something to gain from it, and also they can get a lot more of you done, you know, because you're in and out within an hour. But it is definitely not in the best interest of your baby and for you. I will end it there, but if you want to know more, just join Blissful Birthing, and there'll be a lot more information where that came from in a lot more depth. Thank you for listening, ladies. Bye for now.